Each day, over 100,000 new songs are released on Spotify and other streaming platforms. But imagine if you could make your song shine above the rest. Well, I want that for you. And let's be honest, your music deserves that kind of attention. I've boiled down my years of experience and education into a 4-step method to write better songs every time. And if you want to learn to write better songs, there's first a hard truth you're gonna have to accept. Take a listen to this recording. This came out in 2011, the same year the iPhone 5S was released. This was probably recorded on nothing but an iPhone 5 or older. Now, how many streams do you think this song has? 1,000? 10,000? How about 66 million? So what does this tell us? Well, if you're like me, then you have this idea in your head of how a hit song should be written. You need a recording studio, thousands of dollars of expensive equipment, and of course, incredible skill. But Brushy One String is proof that the song alone can thrive. No expensive equipment is needed. So the first thing that we need to accept to write better songs is that good quality is completely subjective. Having a bunch of expensive gear does not make you a better songwriter. In fact, there is evidence showing that having less is actually an unfair advantage. I've talked about it here on the channel before. Let's check it out. Well, let's look at a study from the Johns Hopkins Business School to find out. They conducted experiments on creativity levels when possessing more versus possessing less. They determined that when we own less stuff, we activate what is called a constraint mindset. And the greater the constraint mindset, the greater the creativity. What we found is that abundant resources may have a negative effect on creativity. When you have fewer resources, you use them more creatively. This is a mind-shattering discovery. Not only do you not need expensive equipment, but you actually might be better off without it. This should be expanding the way that you think about your music. But what if I told you it's not the only lie that you've been believing? You've heard countless songs about status, fame, and massive wealth. But what if I told you a new concept is taking the music industry by storm? You see, the new currency is to just be yourself. The next meta is radical authenticity. A quote by Oscar Wilde can sum up this whole point. Be yourself. Everybody else is already taken. In this state of overstimulation, more than ever, viewers are simply craving authenticity. Sharing your struggles, anxieties, fears, and also triumphs is a great way to connect to your listener. And what's beautiful about this is nobody else is qualified to tell your story other than you. No longer are songs about the Bentley that you drive or how many millions are in your bank account. Because guess what? Nothing about that is relatable, especially as AI music becomes more prominent, despite how much I like Gospel Patrick. I'm wiser! More than ever, people are craving real humanity in the music that they listen to. Now, these 2 steps will definitely set you apart, but what can we do even today to make your song better? Well, unfortunately, you might not like what I have to say about this. Step 3 is collaboration. This is by far the most simple step you can take to instantly improve your music. However, simple doesn't always mean easy. Ask people for their honest opinion. Getting opinions directly from people you trust is like a complete shortcut for songwriting. But you need to be careful not to let your ego get in the way. You need to be a good listener. Your friends will give you moments that you did great things and moments that probably need more work. But if you get too offended by whatever they have to offer, you're not going to improve at all. You see, we can't do this all on our own. And if people don't like what I show them, I either get back to writing or I just move on to the next song. Another way to incorporate collaboration is just to start writing the song with a friend or few friends. This is going to cut the workload in half or more and make your life a lot easier. Creatively, you'll each bring something new to the table and you'll be surprised with how great the final product is. Now, this final step is the most important, and it's going to change the way you approach songwriting forever. Let me share with you a story to put things into perspective. An art teacher challenged her students to create the perfect clay pot. She divided the class into halves. She told one half of the class to each make a new clay pot every day for a month. and the other half of the class was to only make one clay pot over the course of the entire month. By the end of the challenge, the students who made a new clay pot every day had created what was considered the most perfect pot, while the other side of the class fell completely short and came nowhere close. The point of this story is to stop chasing perfection on your first try. Instead of spending months, or I've even seen people spend years on some of their songs before releasing them, you should just finish it off, release it, and move on. Because somewhere along the way, you might just create your best song yet. Hey, speaking of moving on, you should move on to the next great video right here. And until next time, peace.